It was a warm March afternoon, and Paris basked in the golden glow of spring sunlight. Ryan Miller, a talented 37-year-old architect, strolled leisurely along the cobblestone streets. Paris had always been his sanctuary, a city where he could escape the hustle of life and lose himself in the charm of sidewalk cafes and old bookshops. That day, as he turned into a quiet street, his eyes were drawn to a quaint little flower shop. A wooden sign outside read in delicate script, "Fleur de souvenir, flowers of memory." He smiled to himself, thinking, what a fitting name. But it wasn't just the name that made him stop. Through the shop's clear glass window, he saw a woman arranging white roses with meticulous care. Her brown hair cascaded gently over her shoulders, and her eyes, focused yet tender, held an undeniable warmth. Ryan froze, his breath caught in his chest as he stared. The woman looked exactly like Anna, his first love. It wasn't just a resemblance, it was as if time had turned back, bringing her to life before his very eyes. Anna, the woman he had lost in a tragic accident 15 years ago. The pain of her absence had lingered, a shadow over his heart, even as life moved forward. Though Ryan had built a successful career, a part of him had never let go of her memory. Unable to resist, Ryan stepped inside the shop. The soft chime of the doorbell made the woman look up. Up close, her resemblance to Anna was even more striking. She smiled, a gentle smile, warm as sunlight, and spoke. "Hello, how can I help you?" Ryan hesitated, momentarily lost for words, before managing a smile of his own. I'd like to buy a bouquet. White roses, maybe?" "Of course," she replied, her hands deftly selecting the flowers. White roses are a favorite for many. They symbolize purity and cherished memories. Ryan watched her work, his heart brimming with emotions he couldn't quite name. When she handed him the bouquet, their hands brushed briefly. A jolt of familiarity surged through him, leaving him momentarily breathless. He wanted to ask her name, but the words caught in his throat. Only when he left the shop did he realize he'd been holding his breath. Since that day, Ryan couldn't stop thinking about the woman in the flower shop. The image of her deft hands arranging white roses and her gentle smile lingered in his mind. There was something about her, a strange familiarity that seemed to pull him back to the shop, like an invisible force. A few days later, Ryan made up his mind to return. He stepped into the shop with a simple excuse. "I'd like to buy more flowers." "Hello again," the woman greeted him with the same warm smile. "What will it be this time?" Ryan hesitated for a moment before replying. "Maybe a bouquet of yellow tulips." She smiled. Yellow tulips are often seen as a symbol of sunshine and happiness. A lovely choice. Ryan soon found himself visiting the flower shop regularly. Each time, he chose a different type of flower, lavender, sunflowers, or wildflower arrangements. Slowly but surely, the two began to grow more familiar with each other. Emily, he now knew her name, was a thoughtful and sensitive woman. She spoke about the comfort she found in flowers, how they gave her life meaning and peace. In return, Ryan shared stories about his architectural projects, his love for designs inspired by nature, and the small, meaningful moments in life. One evening, as the soft glow of sunset filtered through the shop's window, Ryan mustered the courage to ask, "Emily, would you like to join me for a coffee sometime?" Emily paused briefly, then smiled. "I'd love to." Their first outing took place at a cozy cafe by the Seine. They talked endlessly, as if they had known each other for years. Emily shared how she always felt like something was missing in her life, a piece of her past she couldn't quite grasp. Ryan listened in silence, his heart filled with emotion. He didn't bring up Anna yet, but he couldn't shake the feeling that some invisible thread connected them. Over the weeks, the bond between Ryan and Emily deepened. Their conversations went beyond flowers or work, delving into their inner thoughts and dreams. Ryan realized that every moment with Emily reminded him a little of Anna, not just her appearance, but her gestures, the sparkle in her eyes, and even the way she laughed. One quiet afternoon, Ryan and Emily sat on a park bench near the flower shop. They sipped coffee as they talked, when Emily suddenly let out a sigh and said, "Ryan, there's something I want to share with you. I don't remember much about my life before." Ryan looked at her, surprised. "What do you mean?" I was in a car accident a few years ago, she began, her voice faltering slightly. When I woke up, I couldn't remember anything. No family, no friends, no past. It felt like being lost in a world I didn't recognize. The only thing that made sense was flowers. I don't know why, but their colors, their scents, they were like a lifeline, pulling me out of the void. They'd been my only anchor ever since. Ryan fell silent, a wave of emotion washing over him. He thought of Anna, who had loved flowers so much that her apartment was always filled with plants and fresh bouquets. Emily, do you ever feel like there are pieces of your memory trying to come back but they just can't? He asked gently. Emily nodded, her eyes distant. I do. Sometimes I dream of faces and laughter, but when I wake up, they're gone. Lately, I've felt a strange sense of familiarity when I'm with you, like we've met before. Ryan looked at her, his heart aching with unspoken truths. He wanted to tell her everything about Anna and their past, but he feared it would be too overwhelming for her. You don't need to rush, he said with a reassuring smile. I believe your memories will return when you're ready. Emily met his gaze, gratitude shining in her eyes. Thank you, Ryan. You make me feel less alone. As the sun set, they rose and walked side by side, their steps slow but filled with hope. It was as if something profound was forming between them, something that even time couldn't erase. With each passing day, Ryan and Emily grew closer. Their afternoons at cozy cafes and evening strolls under the setting sun became cherished routines. Between them, a gentle yet profound affection blossomed, much like the white roses Emily so adored. One day, Ryan received an invitation to showcase his work at a personal architecture exhibit. As he considered it, an idea struck him. He invited Emily to join him at the event. Emily, Ryan said, his voice softer than usual, there's something I've been wanting to share with you. It's a part of my life that means so much to me. Some of my work, it's inspired by memories I hold very close to my heart. Emily looked at him curiously, her smile tinged with warmth and intrigue. I'd be honored, Ryan. I can't wait to see it. The exhibit took place in a warmly lit hall filled with soft, ambient light. As they entered, Emily's eyes were immediately drawn to a model in the center of the room. It depicted a garden with winding stone paths, surrounded by blooming white roses. Standing beside her, Ryan said softly, I call it the Garden of Memories. It was one of my first designs, inspired by someone very important to me. Emily stood silently, her gaze fixed on the model. Faint images flickered in her mind. A similar garden, laughter, and the gentle touch of a hand in hers. She blinked, trying to grasp the fleeting memories. It's beautiful, Ryan. I feel like I've been here before. Ryan looked at her, hope swelling in his heart. Maybe your memories are starting to return. That evening, after leaving the exhibit, Ryan decided it was time to share what he had been holding back. He led Emily to a quiet cafe and said, Emily, there is something I need to tell you. From the moment I first saw you, I felt you resembled someone I once loved. Her name was Anna, and she passed away many years ago. Emily remained silent, her eyes reflecting a storm of emotions. Do you think I'm her? No, Ryan replied, shaking his head. You're your own person, Emily. But I think there's something that connects us, as if fate brought us together. Emily smiled softly, her eyes glistening under the streetlights. Maybe you're right, Ryan. I don't know what my past holds, but in this moment, I know I want to be here, with you. And in that moment, beneath the starry Parisian sky, their love truly blossomed. It was unbound by old memories or past losses, but rooted in the deep and genuine connection they had found in each other. As time passed, Ryan and Emily's bond grew stronger. Emily stopped trying to recover the memories she had lost, realizing that the present was far more important. With Ryan, she found peace, a sense of safety she had never known before. One sunny morning, Ryan took Emily to a garden on the outskirts of Paris. It wasn't just a concept on paper anymore. It had been brought to life, the Garden of Memories he had shown her during the exhibit. Who did you create this for? Emily asked, her eyes shining as she admired the blooming white roses. Ryan turned to her, his gaze filled with love. I created this for the person I love. the one I believe fate brought back into my life." Emily froze for a moment, then smiled softly. "Ryan, thank you for not giving up on me, on my memories, or my present." Under the shade of a tree, Ryan knelt down and pulled a small velvet box from his pocket. "Emily Harper," he began, his voice trembling with emotion. "I don't know what your past holds, but I know you are my future. Will you marry me?" Tears streamed down Emily's face. "Yes, Ryan, I will." The months that followed marked the beginning of a new life filled with happiness. Ryan and Emily moved to a cozy house near the garden where they could tend to the flowers and build new memories together. Sometimes, fragments of Emily's past would return, but they no longer troubled her. To her, the love and connection she shared with Ryan had become the centerpiece of her life. One late afternoon, as the sun dipped below the trees, Emily watched Ryan watering the flowers in their garden. She walked over, wrapped her arms around him, and said, "Ryan, I may not be sure of who I once was, but I know one thing for certain. I want to spend every moment of the rest of my life with you." Ryan smiled, pressing a soft kiss to her forehead. "Together, Emily, we'll create memories no one can ever take away, memories that are ours alone." Beneath the Parisian sky, they stepped into a new chapter, a chapter of love, hope, and memories that would never fade. 5 years had passed since Ryan and Emily's wedding. They lived a simple yet fulfilling life in their cozy home near the Garden of Memories. Emily had fully embraced that while fragments of her old memories were precious, they didn't define who she was. Instead, she focused on creating new memories, mornings spent tending the garden with Ryan, afternoons strolling through the streets of Paris, and evenings filled with laughter under the starry skies. One day, Emily was arranging a bouquet for a loyal customer at Fleur de Souvenir, now a popular shop known for its emotion-filled floral designs. Ryan walked in, holding a bouquet of white roses freshly picked from their garden. "Do we have a special customer today?" Ryan asked, flashing a playful smile. Emily laughed and took the bouquet from his hands. "We do. The most special customer of all. You." Ryan smiled, his eyes filled with adoration as he looked at the woman he had loved more than life itself. "Emily, you know something? No matter how many years go by, my love for you remains the same. It's still whole, still as strong as ever." Emily met his gaze, her eyes shining with gratitude and love. "Ryan, we may have lost part of the past, but we have a lifetime to make up for it. And you're the reason I believe that true love can overcome anything." Under the golden Parisian sunlight, they stood together, creating new memories. Memories not just beautiful, but timeless. 2 years after celebrating their 5th wedding anniversary, Ryan and Emily decided it was time to grow their family. Life in their cozy home by the Garden of Memories was fulfilling, but something felt missing, a new hope, a new beginning. One spring morning, as they worked together in the garden, Emily shared the news with Ryan. "Ryan," she said softly, her eyes brimming with emotion, "I think it's time we added a new member to our family." Ryan paused, staring at her with wide eyes. You mean?" Emily nodded, a radiant smile spreading across her face. "We're going to have a baby!" Ryan couldn't contain his joy. He pulled Emily into his arms, holding her tightly as if he never wanted to let go. "You've just made me the happiest man in the world." In the months that followed, they prepared eagerly for the arrival of their child. Ryan designed a nursery featuring murals of the Garden of Memories, while Emily planted new blooms to make the garden even more vibrant than before. When their daughter Leela was born, Ryan wept as he held her for the first time. "Welcome to the world, Leela," he whispered. "You are the embodiment of love and the beautiful memories we've built." As the years passed, Leela grew up surrounded by flowers and the love of her parents. She spent her days running through the Garden of Memories, her laughter echoing under the sun. For Ryan and Emily, it felt as though every wound from the past had finally healed. One day, as the family sat together under the shade of a large tree, Lila asked, "Mommy, Daddy, why is this garden called the Garden of Memory?" Ryan paused, glancing at Emily, who nodded with a soft smile. "Well, sweetheart," he began, his voice gentle, This garden holds the stories of people we love and the moments we've shared. Memories, both happy and painful, shape who we are and remind us of what truly matters. This garden is our way of keeping those memories alive, for us and for you. Emily smiled, taking Ryan's hand. And you, Lila, are the most beautiful memory we've ever made. As the golden sunset bathed the garden in its warm glow, the three of them embraced, surrounded by the pristine white roses. They had not only built a new life, but also passed on their legacy of love, hope, and cherished memories to the next generation.